Hello, I'm Megan from Blackthorn Brook. We do luxury fox hunting holidays in the southwest of England. One of our best selling points is the fact that you can get on one of our great horses and jump the hedges in the best of our vale. However, we understand that sometimes, although an exciting prospect, it can be a bit tricky or a bit intimidating for someone who doesn't do it every time. So today we've put together these clips to try and show you how we prepare ourselves and our horses to tackle the best of the hedges in our country. We hope that you might be able to pick up some tips from this video on how you can feel safer and more confident and kick on when you come hunting with us next season. So it's quite good to have a start in the school. We want to work on three main principles, being strong legs, light hands, and making sure our horses are straight, which we can see in this video. It's just a question of building up the grids. If, like me, you've got a nice forward-going, honest horse, you can try going through without holding the reins. This makes sure that you're in good balance with your weight in your heels and you're not relying on the reins to keep you in the saddle. So, as you can see here, I've managed to keep my lower leg nice and still, and I'm just about to sit up, which is important when you're jumping a hedge, because if your horse should peck on landing, you won't be pulled forward so much. So we all know we can't get it right every time, and this clip's going to show that a big jump puts me off balance, my lower leg goes back, which you're just about to see, and I get tipped forward here. But I do try and sit up at the end, which means I do land all right. Now it's just a question of building up, keeping the same fundamentals of strong legs, light hands and straightness. Here's a bird's eye view of how it looks from my head, and then another fence where he chips in a little bit, but because I'm looking up, it doesn't really matter. So now we go out in the field to jump some proper hedges, and as you can see here, I'm cantering round in a nice forward rhythm. I'd say I'd probably want to go a touch more forward than this, but as my horse takes me into the hedges, I'm concentrating on getting him settled. If you have a quieter one, you might want to G them up a bit. The most important thing, I think, for jumping these hedges is not to try and organise your horse. Just think about keeping your legs on, your hands soft, and let him see the stride. So now we're out in the field, exactly the same principle applies, building up from smaller to bigger. So here we've got a couple of small hedges, and I'm doing exactly the same thing, keeping my leg on, my hands soft, and staying straight to build my horse's confidence. Now we've got the view from my head, and as I come round to the hedge, what I'm concentrating on doing is staying in a nice rhythm with the horse between my hands and my legs, but not towing me around. I would expect him to quicken when he sees the hedge though. So now, coming around the corner, I'm just about to look up, and then, as he takes off, I soften my hands. As you see, they're a tiny bit open, so if he needs, he can pull the reins through my hands, and I won't jab him in the mouth. Good boy. Here's a view of the same hedge from side on. As you can see, I've got my legs on, my hands soft, and I'm going to sit up and look up on landing. I'd like to think that out hunting, I'd sit up a bit more, because I didn't know what was on the other side. Finally, after all the hedges have been jumped, a very important thing to think about is the fact that there could be blackthorns in your horse's legs. They, if left in, can cause all sorts of trouble by travelling around in the blood. So as you can see, I quite carefully feel down and look for any thorns. I think I've found one. And you just pull them out, and I tend to disinfect the hole that they came out of. I hope that's given you a bit of an idea of how we prepare ourselves and our horses for hopping some hedges in the hunting field. Clearly there are other aspects of being out hunting and jumping hedges to consider, such as what other people are doing around you and etiquette in front of a hedge. All this will be covered in our next video.